Finally, time to share the planners and journals that I am going to be using in 2024. This is heavy. But first, if you're new here, hey, my name is Lauren, and on my channel, I talk all things planning and self care. I do have reviews on these planners that I can point you to either up in cards or down in the description in case you want to see the full flip throughs of any of these. So I'm not going to fully flip through all of them in today's video. I just will share what they are and explain what I'm planning on using them for. Also, I have a stack of planners that I purchased for 2024 that I was thinking about using, but then I ended up not. Stick around so you can see what those are. But I do have like some backup planners, I guess you could call them, that in case the one that I did pick doesn't work, I could technically go into those. Let me start with the easy ones. Let's start with my content planner. So this I have been using already since October, and it is an A5 sized plum paper monthly planner. So it's just calendar months and notes pages, and I did like a 15-month on hard with like a hard cover so that the coil could be a little bit bigger. And I do plan on cutting off this cover at some point and putting on an Erin Condren A5 snap-in cover instead because this is really heavy. But just really quickly, I can show you what this looks like so you can kind of get an idea in case you didn't see that video. Pretty much, I've been using this dashboard page where the tab is to list out like ideas of videos and keep track of stats. And then the calendar page, I've been using sticky notes to pre-plan my videos. And then once the videos actually go out, I've been writing it in and using some stickers. I have some like from Planner Kate with YouTube icons. And then on Instagram, I like to keep track on here too, like when I'm posting, but I put that in here like way after the fact. I don't do it like every time I post, I come in here and put down a sticker. No, I wait till the month's over and put it in there. It just kind of helps me see how consistent I was or wasn't that month. Sometimes, like, I don't know about you. Sorry, today I keep clearing my throat for some reason. I sometimes feel like I'm not doing enough, and then coming in here and laying out all the posts that I did and all that helps me kind of see, oh, yeah, I have been doing stuff. So that's what I'm using the month views for. And then every month there's note pages, and there are plenty of them. I've been using these to just brainstorm notes, and I have an email list that goes out every month. And so I've been using these pages to kind of write out what message I'm going to put in that email first. And that's been helpful so that like I can have everything all in one place. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using this planner for. So this next one is another easy one for me to share because it is my budgeting planner. I have been budgeting in this fashion for a little while now, and I know I started 2023 with my budgeting being in my daily duo because there's like an extra notes page in there, but I found that I didn't like that because then when the year ended, I ended up in the situation where I'm like, what do I do with all these daily pages that I don't need? I want to keep my finance pages. So that's when I was like, I need to pull it out of there and have it separate instead of being all together. So I ended up customizing an Agendio, and that technically is not completely finished. That ends like in the end of March. But I am going to be moving into this one soon. I got this dated for January to start. I will be going in here and doing some back budgeting, but I plan on using the calendar pages this year for keeping track of expenses and payments that I've gotten for my content. So that at the end of the year, I can better keep track of like the expenses and the income because I didn't have a calendar like this in my agenda that I had set up last year. I just had made like a weeks only type planner, which was really great, but I really wanted this time to have like a dedicated space where I was putting all that information in. So that's what I'm doing here. And I opted to make this lined so that it was a little bit easier for me to write in. And I also customized it with like this week's paycheck, bills this week. And I have a video about this explaining it. And if you want to see that video, I'll make sure to link it up in a card. It explains what my process is for doing my weekly budget. But that's what I'm planning on using for budgeting. So this I don't usually look at unless I am actually like needing to figure out what bills do I need to pay this week. So over here in the pockets, I have this Sterling ink TN notebook that I'm not going to move because I've got credit cards behind here. And then I have some extra cards that I don't need in my wallet, just tucked away here. But this TN is dot grid, and I'm planning on using this like a checkbook register when my current one is over. The one I'm currently using is a Hobonichi like Weeks notebook. It's very thin. It's the one that would fit in the back pocket of the Weeks, and that's been working pretty well for me in keeping track of my balance in my checking account. Yes, I still do that sort of thing. So I have an extra one for when that one's out. I don't know how long the book is actually going to last me. So that's the only one I actually have. So we'll see what happens with that. But that is my planner for budgeting. Okay, next I'm going to talk about my journal. This is just a lined notebook from Plum paper. It's actually a journal that I started in February of 2023 that it's not completely filled out. I do have a couple of blank pages left in the end to complete. And then once it is completed, I plan on moving into one of these two notebooks for the year. So I did want to bring it up because I do have a video about pen and pillar. If you want to see that, I'll pop it up here. But these little notebooks are super cute. They're a little bit smaller. This is A5 size. So side by side, you can see it's a little bit less writing space, but I think it's fine. This is definitely a lot more portable. I tend to bring my journal with me into the car whenever I go at the end of the day in car line to pick up my kids from school. That's when I've been doing a lot of my journaling lately. So this one's almost done. And I loved this so much, but I'm really looking forward to moving into this because it's going to be a little bit more portable. And I think I'll move through them faster and we'll see how that goes if I end up needing to restock before the year's over. I technically have other journals that I could use, other notebooks like a journal, but I don't think I have any that are coiled. I like folding it back like this and writing like that. That's just like my preference. I have had journals where I didn't do that, but and that's kind of what I have. I have a lot of notebooks that are just open and I can't really bend it back, but we'll see. I do want to journal a little bit more. This is not the only thing I journaled in 2023. I also did journal in an Erin Condren journal that was undated, and I journaled in that for it was like a daily page every day. I did it almost every day, and that was really good for a while. I think it was from like April until early July or early June. Anyway, so I have another like book, and then I think I also did J&B Living for a little bit, but I don't have plans at the moment to do any other journaling. Actually, I lie. I am doing journaling in one of these other planners off to the side, but I do want to share this one because this is like my main go-to if I have a lot on my mind and I'm just trying to like process my thoughts and my feelings and I just want to like a lot of space to just write it all out. This is where I go to, and it's been really helpful my whole life pretty much since I was a teenager to just write it out. And I still have all my journals from when I started doing this, and it's just been really great for my mental sanity and I guess my own journey of just being a person. As you get older, you kind of like feel like you know yourself more and more as you get older. I don't know if that's just me or if that's just like this universal thing. They say like the older you get, the wiser you are. And I'm sort of kind of understanding that, and these journals have been like a pivotal part of that process. So journals have to have it every year. I don't know why I didn't share a journal in my stack video for 2023, like the beginning of the year. I'm wondering if I ever shared one within, I'm sure this made an appearance at some point. I'll link my playlist because I've been doing updates every quarter, but journal is always going to be there. So if you don't see it in my video, if I forget, just know it's always going to be there. Okay. The next thing I might say is going to probably shock some of you, but I am not going to be using a dedicated daily planner for 2024. I say that because I just watched my 2023 video last night before today. I'm recording this on January the 10th. And in that video, I was saying how I tried not to use a daily planner in 2022 and that failed by March. So I might be sabotaging, but I have found as 2023 started getting like to the end of the year, I wasn't really using my daily planner too much. Not enough to where I felt like, you know what, I need a dedicated one that's dated. So here's my option. And this is where I think I am learning from my past mistakes. In 2022, when I tried to do away with it, I didn't have any kind of a backup plan for on the days where I'm like, oh my God, I need a daily page. So here's my backup plan. Or this is my backup plan, or this is my backup plan. This is actually today's to-do list. Today, last night I wrote this out and I needed to because today's kind of a lot for me. But either one of these notepads or this graph notebook from Erin Condren for me to just like draw something out. Ideally, I want to like use up these notepads. This one was from MakseLife, and this one's actually a sticky note. And then this one is a Erin Condren to-do list pad that I ordered. The only way you can do these is like custom. You have to pick a color that you want. And I'm not entirely crazy about the way this turned out. I think it's just I would have been fine if it has the color here and here, but like the fact that the whole back of the page is like see how compared to this, it's got like that same like green to it. I don't like that. I wish it would have just been white and then like all these could be shaded the green that I picked and I might like it more. But whatever. I'm not going to you learn and I'm just probably not going to get any more of those notepads. But I have this just in case, and I also technically plan on using this in case I feel like drawing out a weekly spread. If for some reason the weekly planner that I have picked out is not working. So that's what I'm planning on using this notebook for, is like a daily planner on the days that I actually feel like I need it. So this is not going to be every day, just crazy days. This is technically not a planner. It is a perpetual calendar from Erin Condren. And if you have been around for a while, then you know that I have been using these to keep track of my daily yoga practice. So what I like to do, and I can show you January because it's already started, I like to list out like how much time I spent practicing, and the initials are abbreviations for which YouTuber I followed. So SBY is Sarah Beth Yoga, YWA. I don't know why I always have to slow down when I say that, because when I see this in my head, I'm saying yoga with Adrienne. So my brain really has to like think differently. I list out, and then I've been sharing pictures of this every month on my Instagram. I have been doing daily yoga now, you guys. 2024 it's going to be my 4th year. So I've just completed 3 years of daily yoga. I started in 2021, so I kind of like had a moment the other day where I was like, holy smokes, I've done yoga now for 3 whole years every single day. Granted, each year there have been a few days, and when I say a few, I mean like under 5. I don't maybe even under 4. I don't think I ever hit 4, or maybe just 3 or less. I'd have to go back and look at my tracking. I don't think I've missed more than 3 days, and all those days were accidental, never intentional. I never intentionally was like, I am not doing yoga today. So it's kind of nuts, and I can't imagine like what it was like before then, because now it's just kind of like ingrained in me. It's like I have to do it. It's like brushing your teeth every day. It's like you have to do it. And sometimes it's just like I sit down in my bed. I don't even make it to my mat, and I just sit there and do a couple breaths for a minute or so. And it's just like a way for me to kind of just reset and let go of whatever happened that day. So this is going to stay. I like this method of using this little perpetual calendar because it is super small, and I keep this by my bed on my nightstand. And it's easy because usually I do my yoga in my bedroom at the end of the day. Right now in January, as I'm recording this, I'm actually doing 2 yoga challenges at once. As you could see, there's a practice for Sarah and Adrian on the same day. I've been kind of doing in the morning or afternoon and then in the evening, been splitting it up. Actually, there was one time, maybe two, that I did it back to back. But yeah, I do not recommend doing 2 yoga challenges at once if you have never done yoga before or even daily yoga. I'm learning that my body is a lot stronger than I thought it was, especially because I felt like I've been lazy with my yoga. And when I say lazy, I mean I haven't really been following a YouTuber like every single day for like long periods of time. I'll go through stretches where like I might go for like a week or two, and then I'll end up doing just like my own little thing. And that doesn't mean it's short practices. It just means I'm just like doing my own stuff. And for some reason, I feel like whenever I do it on my own, I feel like that's being lazy, and that like not that I'm not doing it right, but I don't know. I just thought my body would be like freaking out a little bit more than it is, and it isn't. And I'm alive, and my abs are not completely destroyed from this past week of doing 2 yoga practices at the same time. Both of them, there was like one day where they both focused on abs, and that was a lot. Like for you to do an ab workout and then a couple hours later do another ab workout. That I mean, there's a reason why we do rest days. But I figured my thought process was these yoga instructors, they are teaching multiple classes. So if they can do that, I'm sure it's fine. And I've been listening to my body. There have definitely been times where I have not been I've taken like the modified versions, or because I've done yoga for so long, I know what the modified versions are. In Sarah's practice, there's this rock to roll that she's done where you do a rock to roll to stand twice now, 2 days in a row. And I said, oh no, I know that I've tried doing that before. And I know with like all these other ab workouts that I've been doing, I'm like, there's no way in heck that I'm going to try and do that and accidentally hurt myself. No way. Thank you. I'll just roll over and then stand up. Um, so I am not like pushing myself past my own limits. I feel like I know my body enough, but it'll be interesting. I do plan on doing a video about this whole experience of doing both challenges at the same time. And I did start sharing like daily on my Instagram for a couple of days. There is a highlight bubble that you can watch those back if you want to. Eventually, I will probably put it all together into a YouTube video summarizing the whole experience. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can see that, or you can head over to Instagram and check those out if you just want to see the highlights. But anyway, yoga tracking. I also have, you'll see GWJ stands for Grow with Joe. She's a YouTuber that does workouts, and I watch her for like cardio health. I'm not trying to lose weight or anything like that. It's just keeping my cholesterol levels and my heart health in check. So that's what this is for. Sometimes I track my symptoms. If I feel like I'm getting sick or a headache or something, I might notate that just in case. But otherwise, that's what this is for, and it stays on my bed. And I share this every month. Okay, sorry, I probably spent a little bit too long on the perpetual calendar and yoga thing, but as you can tell, I'm kind of excited about my yoga journey. This is my MakseLife planner, and I'm not going to do a full flip through. I have one in my haul video. I will link it up here. And this book is the 2023 Reflections that is still completely empty because I am not following the traditional January 1st. It's a new year. Let's start all the new goals at once. I am starting my new year on Lunar New Year, which this year is February 10th. Yes, that means January is like a past month for me. That gives me a ton of time to really reflect and think through all my goals, and that worked really well for me last year. Last year I did the Lunar New Year start as well, and I am going to be showing a 2023, flip through all my Moxie notebooks, my companion notebooks. That's the system I was in last year. I will be doing a video like that. So look out for that if you're interested in it. So because that worked so well for me last year, and last year was my first full year using the MakseLife system, I am like, I'm not going to screw around with what I did last year. I wasn't going to try and rush myself and like change it to where I'm going to try and do it January 1st. No, no, no. So the pages in the front of this are still kind of like completely blank too, but I have already been doing my journaling in here. So I did get the horizontal layout, and as you can see, I have been journaling about my yoga practice in here so far. My thought process was I'm going to take it easy, and I want to journal in this the whole year. For January, I was like, you know what? I'm doing a yoga challenge. Let me just journal about the yoga challenge in January to get my muscles going with like doing a daily journaling habit again, because I haven't really been in a daily journaling habit for a couple of months, and I wanted something easy. So I've been using these pages just for that, keeping it very simple. I might go back and like decorate these pages, but for now it's just pen only. I do have my goals pages filled out a little bit, but I do not want to share that yet. I'm thinking about, and let me know in the comments if you would be interested in this. I didn't do very good about sharing my MakseLife stuff last year. Intended in the beginning of the year to do it, but then I started to feel like, this is private. I don't want to. Maybe because when my grandmother passed in April, like, I don't know if that changed like my YouTube trajectory and like my thought process of what I am going to do and what I'm not going to do. But I do want to, I think what I want to do is I want to do, look how cute this page is. I do want to do maybe like once a month, do monthly reflection videos. And in those, I can share how the whole month went, because I can show my weekly reflections for the month and then kind of talk through doing my monthly reflections. I was hit and miss with doing my actual monthly reflections. Probably like every other month, I did my monthly reflections last year. And this year, I want to do better about it. So we'll see if I decide I want to film that or not. I might end up filming it and doing like a voiceover type thing. But I do want to do more MakseLife content, because this planner has been really helpful in making sure that I stay on top of all of my self-care habits and plans, because if I do not stay on top of all of those, I go a little crazy. I'm not afraid of a minute. Before I show you the other planners that I bought is my weekly planner that I ended up deciding on. And this has not yet been reviewed on my channel. So y'all are probably like, what is this? Okay, this is a year task planner from Appointed. I did not do a review before the holiday break because it did not arrive. I did order it like right around Thanksgiving break. I think when I got back from traveling, I ordered it maybe like that Monday or that Tuesday in a panic. Um, I'll show you the other planner as I ordered in a panic that same weekend, because I initially thought maybe I would just go ahead and just use my MakseLife planner as my actual planner. I had printed out some samples and I did like the test thing, and I just was like, okay, I'll do this. And then at the last moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure that's going to work well for me. And then I ended up buying like 3 planners. This one was the last of the ones that I ordered, me being convinced like this one probably is going to be the one I picked. And then this ended up showing up way, way later than I thought it would. I think it showed up just before Christmas, or maybe even right after Christmas. I can't remember anymore. But it is a 12-month planner. It does have tabs. And is it? Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than, like, taller than my Moxie. Can you see that a little bit? It's like a teeny little bit taller. The pages are a little bit taller than the MakseLife pages, but I feel like they're about the same width. So it's pretty much the same. I'll have to pop up the dimensions. But I'm going to definitely do like a dedicated review video just for this. I have been using it now for 2 weeks. Well, I just planned like this week is the second week of the year in it. And I'm not going to lie, I do have some doubts. And I have been doubting it ever since I first wrote in it. But the layout looks like this. And the calendar pages look like this. I'm not using these calendar pages in here though. I've decided because I'm so wishy-washy about whether I'm going to stick with this or not. And these boxes are a little bit smaller. I use a monthly calendar to put like all the appointments and all the things. I have that filled out in my MakseLife. I didn't show you because I do have things like pre-planned in there ahead of time with like sticky notes, but that's how I use my planner. I use my calendar to have all the things, and then when I sit down to do my week, I will look at the calendar as I'm filling out the week. So this weekly layout is very similar to what I've drawn out. The only downside so far that I have about it, I didn't realize when I ordered it because again, I did like all this like really quick shopping. The Saturday and Sunday, I didn't realize that they were so small compared to the rest of the week. So this I think would be very good for somebody who needs a work planner and they need more space for Monday through Friday. I think that's why it's designed that way. There is enough space technically if they would give me like take away one of these lines from each of these and give it to like Saturday and Sunday. It could be like even, but it's not. Um Otherwise that's like my only real complaint. Also like this kind of feels like wasted space to me. I wish it was like all the way across and then I have more room because I want to split to where like these are my kids' schedules and this is like what I have to do. But it's fine. We are about to enter a season in the year where the next like from February for like 6 months until school starts again, it's really like there's not really that much happening. So I might be able to get away with it and I'm going to push through using it. And I think it really would be cool to kind of see how well this holds up because this is really jammed into a small coil. I feel like this coil needs to be a little bit bigger. This is the one that I'm not sure about. All the rest of them, I feel very, very confident that I'm going to stick in the entire year. So let me show you the other two. Actually, there's three. I believe this was the one I ordered first. This is a it's from MomAgenda, but it's called myAgenda. And the only difference between this and their MomAgenda planner is right here. It'll say kids in the MomAgenda one, and then also the pages in the front, they'll be more like kids related instead of just general. And also the paper in here, for some reason, they use like a yellow paper or off-white paper. It's not yellow. I say off-white. Let's say off-white. Off-white paper in here, and then in the actual MomAgenda, they use a whiter paper. Not sure why they did that difference, but okay. I have a review on this video also. I mean, I have a review video on this planner also. I do not like the line spacing. So although I like the idea of this, I don't like that the line spacing is a little bit narrow for me. And then also there isn't really a dedicated space for me to do like a weekly list or weekly lists. So that ended up when I got it, I was like, no. And then I also realized the calendars in this one start on Mondays. The same on here. They start on Mondays. I don't like Monday starts on my actual monthly calendar view. So that's why I ended up deciding, okay, that's not going to work. This is a monthly planner from She Plans that I had got. I did record a video, but I did not post it. So I have it like waiting to be edited. I don't know if I'm going to post it or not. I probably will. I had got this because I initially was thinking that I was going to just use this as like where my monthly calendar stuff lives so that I don't have to have that tied to my weekly planner because in my mind I think I have to have it tied together because I like having my monthly calendar a certain way where it has to be a Sunday start and I want it to be big enough. And this would eliminate like if I decide changing my weekly planner, I'm not like, oh my god, blah blah. But when I got this, I was like, this is a little bit too small, these boxes, and I was like, okay, no, that's not going to work. These are a little bit smaller than I thought they would be, even though this is like a 7x9. The box spacing in my MakseLife is a little bit bigger, and that just makes me feel a little bit less anxious because I feel like I can, even though I don't ever really fill it up, it's just having the more space. But I do still have this, so in case I do change my mind, I don't know. I might end up passing it along, but I don't know. That's another one that I had got that I am not currently using. And then this one is actually the one that I really would like to actually use instead as my weekly planner because of the coil size. And that's it all. This I feel like is the appropriate size coil that this planner should have been. Can the camera see that? Can you maybe? The thickness of these two planners is like pretty much the same. Yet Appointed shoved it all into this like really teeny tiny coil, and Pen and Pillar did not. So that's my only gripe. I'm thinking like if this falls apart and starts coming out, this isn't as easy to turn. So if this starts, I guess, annoying me a lot, I will probably jump in here because the layout is almost the same. The paper is a different color. There is no tabs, but these are graded. These are like shaded on the side, so it would be easy for me to find what month, and that's not a problem. And the only thing is like flopped. So the months, I mean, the days of the week are on this side, and then the to-do lists is on the other side. And it's enough space, and the layout doesn't bother me. This has Sunday, like I like. These boxes in here for, hold on, it's over here. Oh, I forgot that was in there. These boxes in here are, I think, still probably a little too small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they give you 6, which is cool because you could see they'll never be like a squished box. But this calendar again would be something I probably would not use as like my main like monthly calendar. And the downside of this is that these are like bullet pointed and these are kind of a little bit wider than I would like. And there's only like 3 lines for Saturday and 3 lines for Sunday. So I'm not sure. My thought process is, since it says dates and times to remember, I could technically list out whatever time things on the over here, but I don't know how my brain's going to feel about that. If I look over here and it's like, okay, like I have nothing to do today because it's not over here, like, you know what I mean? That's like my one thing. I wish they didn't have all these boxes, or maybe they just took it out over here and left it over here. If this was more open-ended, because in my brain these little circles mean these are check boxes, these are not for like appointments. Although that's not that big a deal. I could technically just like use a highlighter probably and just go like that over it and write in the time right in that spot, and you probably wouldn't even notice. We'll see if I end up jumping over into this one. I like how, really just like how big this is, and then I just like the way this feels better than this cover. This is like a linen, and just feels like, I don't know what this feels like. I do have a full video on this, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So basically every single day, this is my stack. This is what you will see me using every single day. If you were in my house, I would open this every single day because I need to see what's happening today, what do I want to do today for my to-do list. Using this every single day because I'm journaling in it every day and doing my weekly reflections every week and my weekly actions. I like to write my weekly actions in here, and then I try and move it over to my week so that I don't forget to do any of them. And I actually have been using the little sticky notes from MakseLife, these little sticky notes, and putting it in here on the side where the lists are so that I can have like a habit tracker of making sure that I am doing like the self-care habits that I want to be doing every day so I don't forget them. Some of them it's like ingrained, and then sometimes like I get into a habit of doing them and then not doing them. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that this video was helpful to you in a way. Somehow I like watching other people's stack videos. I just kind of like, it's interesting to kind of see how other people plan and what their thought processes are for what they need to do. And hopefully this video, helped you in that way, maybe introduced you to something new that you didn't already know about. Let me know in the comments if I'm using any planner that you are also using. If you're using something that I'm not using, share your stack and what planners you're using in the comments. I'd love to see them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody.